Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Cringe. I'm your host, Emma Gemma. Week 2, baby. Week 2, let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. The crowd goes fucking mild. The crowd goes fucking mild. Let's go, baby. Week 2 wasn't a fluke. We're back again. I'm so excited to be here chit-chatting with you guys. This actually is technically round 3. I recorded this entire podcast yesterday and kind of recorded it with the mic off, so I was just miming for fun. I was just practicing for my mime school audition. It's me explaining deep Hunger Games lore, and it's just silent, and it's me just screaming at the camera, and it just nothing's coming out. It was really riveting stuff. It was really riveting. I just have to say, you, I was, I don't even have the words. I was so shocked by the amount of people that reached out to me about the podcast that were like, "This is great," or even just followed the socials, or sent me people would send me screenshots listening now. This is so funny. I love Cringe. This is great. Hey, do you mind if I show up on your front lawn and make out with you? Is that cool with you? Is that, hey, I just want to get consent before I show up to your house unannounced and try to make out with you because I'm in love with you. That's crazy. That's actually crazy. It's people that I haven't spoken to in years. People that don't even live in this country. They live on the other side of the world that are like, "Oh my God, I know we haven't talked in X amount of years. This is great. Hi." What? Guys, can I tell you how fucking nervous I was to make this podcast and to announce it? Because I knew once I made it, I had to go balls to the wall and I had to be like, I have to post it on main. I can't just be like, "Oh, well, I don't know, I guess I'll just post it on TikTok." Not a lot. I do that all the time. I post stuff on TikTok thinking people don't see it, but I do also forget I have 50,000 followers. I'll be like, this is a safe space. Not a lot of people are gonna see this. Hey, what the fuck are you talking about? I don't know why. That feels safer to me than posting anything on Instagram main. That feels too hometown people can see. We'll talk about that more later. Actually, I'm jumping the gun. I'm jumping the gun. I keep wanting to jump the gun and talk about things that I'm not at yet. But I just wanted to say thank you for showing out and showing up for this. It actually blows my mind. I was so fucking nervous. I know the whole last episode was me saying, "Who gives a fuck what people think about you?" Guys, raise your hand if you care what people think about you. And both of my hands went up. I'm a liar. I'm someone that I will lie through my teeth, but still do what I need to do. If you ask me if I'm scared, I'm gonna say no. I already shit my pants 3 times. This is a this is a fresh set of underwear. This is I'm horrified. God, that's such a hot visual. God, that's really hot. You get granny diapers or something. I don't know. I'm constantly scared. I'm like a chihuahua with untrained bowels. I'm just constantly scared all the time. Constantly fucking scared. But the whole point of that last episode was even if you're scared, you gotta fucking do it. But I was saying who gives a fuck if people care about you? I care. Hey, me, the one talking, I care so deeply. So when I finally was like, okay, I need to post the podcast, I woke up at 6 in the morning last Wednesday. I wasn't posting the podcast until 11. It was already scheduled. And I just knew I knew I could undo it. So I had to put my computer away and I was barely on my phone because I was like, what if I should just not do it? Maybe this is stupid. And I really almost did not post it. And I'm so glad I did because truly the amount of people that reached out, that I don't even talk to and I'm just online mutuals with, even there are people that I go to college with that I've never met, but we follow each other because we're in the same community that texted me were like, "This is cool. Can I please come over to your house and make out?" I'm so that's insane. That's so nice. People are just so nice. I was horrified to have anyone from school find out about this. That's why I was so scared. Is not that so okay. I didn't talk about this in the last episode because I don't think I'm going to be talking about it a lot, but I am in a sorority. And by in a sorority, I mean I'm the president of one. And honestly, it's kind of like the mom lore that I'm gonna have when I'm older. It's just kind of yeah, it's something I'm doing. And I don't talk about it a lot because it's this is my creative thing and that's more a school sanction thing and I don't know, that just in my head they don't really cross over. But so I know a lot of people from that community that even we've never like I said we've never met in person and they still were like, "This is great." Dude, I'm gonna hurl Okay, I'm gonna make out with you on your lawn, and then I'm gonna puke on your lawn, and then I'm gonna have to pay for a lawn service. Like this is becoming a whole thing. Like this is I was horrified, dude. And not horrified because I think these people are gonna be mean. None of the sorority girls are gonna be mean, which may come as a shock to people that aren't in sororities. Sorority girls are actually very nice. It's frat men that make me run for the hills. Horrify me, and they get up on their little soapbox called Yik Yak and they post stuff. I don't think a single frat man has listened to this yet. Praying to God. If I find a post about me on Yik Yak, I think I will throw up. But I don't think anyone cares enough to do it. So don't. Don't start caring, please. Like that is what I swear to God, that is what kept me up. That is what kept me up. I was like, I don't want to be a meme. I don't think I can handle it. And I never have, and I never really have. I don't plan on talking about it a lot until I'm out of it. Just because, like, one, it's being the president of it is so stressful. Like, I love it. It's like the best decision I could have made, like professional wise, and like just kind of like learning about like how to be professional and how to run things, like how to run like a business, because that's really what a sorority is. Like, yes, you make friends, but also like there's money that comes in and you have to handle the money and you have to handle like grievances with people in the chapter. Sorry, burping. You have to handle grievances with people in the chapter and like making sure that people under you are like doing what they're supposed to do and helping that. Like, it's very much like management stuff. And thinking about it too long will give me an ulcer. And I'm having so much fun. Do not get me wrong. It's more just being like the head of it is very stressful. Stress me out a lot. So I try not to think about it when I'm being like creative. But um yeah, go AO pie. Hey, let's go. Let's throw up. Let's throw her up. Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. I actually had I have a new online friend, High Court, and she had followed me forever on TikTok, and then we made this TikTok for the AOPI or TikTok account. And she's like, "Is that Emma Gemma?" And I was like, first of okay, Court, if you're listening, I just have to tell you, the fact that what blew my mind about that is someone had enough like facial recognition of me to be like, I know her. Like, to me, when I post on the internet, I'm like, people forget about me the second they scroll. So the fact that you were like, that's Emma Gemma, is she an AOPI? That it was just like so fun. So now we follow each other and like, sisters. Sisters before misters. Fucking love Pitch Perfect. That was the TikTok, is it was like a Pitch Perfect thing. And so that was like the first crossover I've had with like social media and Panhellenic and like sorority stuff. And I was shitting my pants, but I was also like, this is kind of cool. And also it's cool that we're in the same sorority. So it was super cool. Hey, Court. You're like, so cool. Can't believe we're online friends now. I love a good online friend. They're like little celebrities to me. Like, will I ever meet them in person? I don't know, but I keep up with them like it's my job. Like, I love it. Like, they'll post like, oh, what am I reading? Like any of my online friends, and I'm like, what are they reading? Let me check in. Let me check in. Do I need to write that down on the TBR? Like, what do we have going on? You know? So yeah, that's the sorority lore for now. So today, what I want to talk about like dating and relationships and breakups and just kind of like when to know to move on. And honestly, like I had this whole thing written out for like a completely different episode. Like I was going to talk about the new Hunger Games and all this stuff. But I just like I remembered this fucking story that I have of the last date that I went on. And I have to tell you guys about it because it was so crazy. Like it was so insane. So before we get started, I have to say, I don't know if I should say her name. One of my friends from like elementary school, we've been friends for life. He followed her already before we ever went on this date. And I never gave her the update because I was like, is it cool if I talk to him? Like, did you and she was like, no, like we never really talked. And I never gave her the update. This is the update. So I need you to sit down. This is the story. Okay. So I just have to tell this story, you guys, because this was crazy. Okay. Getting into like my preferences of dating. I don't know about you guys, but I'm someone that's very like, I fall in love with the personality over what the person looks like. Like, and that's not to say they can, like, I want them to be attractive, but if they're like the hottest thing on this earth and they're fucking boring, I will not date them. I will not ever be one of those people that's like, oh, well, money matters more, status matters more, like their looks matter more. I could care less if you have a six pack. Are you fucking funny? I need to know. Okay. Unfortunately, of all the March sisters, what is her name? I'm the one that ends up like marrying poor. Like it's fine. I would rather be enamored with the person that I'm gonna spend the rest of my life with than like rich, you know? I'm swiping on Hinge and Tinder and all that. I've actually deleted all of those apps at this point, and I we'll talk about that after the story. But at the time, I'm swiping through, and my Hinge profile, it kind of fucked. Like I had a pretty good Hinge profile, had some good feedback on it, and this guy comes across my feed, and I don't know, we'll call him Tom, I guess. I honestly, I can't remember his name. We'll call him Tom. He's like 6'5", D1 athlete, pretty cute. He did kind of look like one of my guy best friends though, and I was like, I can look past it. I can look past, like, maybe if I just squint a little bit, maybe if I ask him to like shave his facial hair, like it won't it won't be weird, you know? I was like, he's really cute though, and he's an athlete. Like, what? He's an athlete. And I was kind of leaning into all of those like markers of, oh well, other people will think this is attractive, or other people will say, oh, you got a good one, you know? Because I lived with a bunch of people that kind of like, we would talk about guys a lot, and it always felt like we were using like physical things as markers as to like why they were worthy. And I've kind of stepped back and I've been like, it's just not, that's just not how I roll. Like, yes, I would like a man to be taller than me. That is one of my very few like requirements, but I'm not like the most picky on looks and this and that, I like to get to know the person, like I said. And so I was like, whoa, this guy has like all the makings of a super hot guy, of a really cool guy, but I'm like, now I just have to see if the personality is there, right? So we match, and he doesn't text me for like 2 hours. And I was like, okay, fine. Like, I guess I'll be the man. I'll put the fucking pants on. So I put my fucking pants on, put my boxers on, and I text him. I think I just said like, hey, or something. I don't even remember what I said. We end up exchanging like Instagrams, or no, he followed me on Instagram first. And I was like, oh my God, like he's so into me. Like he's literally in the, I was kicking my feet and giggling. I was kicking my feet and giggling because this super tall, hot guy liked my stuff. He thought I was cute. And so we end up getting like, we exchanged Snapchats, and that's how we texted most of the time. When I first started texting him, I think I was out drinking that night. Like, I think I was a little tipsy because we were, Snapchatting, whatever. And the next day is when I realized that every photo he sent me was him like mewing, like actively trying to look his sexiest. Here's one thing about me. This is what I need for my next man. I need my next man to not know how to work a phone. I need you to only know how to work a rotary phone. Like like you could just kind of tell he thought he was attractive, and I was like, well, I guess that's not too bad. Like, I don't know, but it just kind of turns me off when a guy is like always like just fucking voguing for you. I'm like, this is weird. Okay, so I keep talking to him, and he's very nice, like very complimentary of me, calling me beautiful, calling me X, Y, and Z, all these things. And so I asked him about the sport that he played. And he says, oh, yeah, I was injured. I didn't get to play my senior year. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. And of course, like any normal person in the 21st century, I did a deep dive on this guy. You're an athlete at our school. I can find so much about you so easily. Like a normal person, you're not going to be able to find them unless you know like what hobbies they're into. If they're in like chess club, okay, you can look up chess club. Did you win anything in chess? Like, you can figure that out. If he wanted to find me, he could. So I find him, and the first red flag that I kind of got was I couldn't find anything about him playing at the school except for like his freshman year. I'm like, that was 2020, like one. I was like, what do you? I was like, wait, no, this can't be right. This can't be right. He coaches whatever sport he's playing. I don't want to be too specific because I'm honestly kind of convinced he'll listen to this because he did some stalking of me on his own. He would just randomly be like he found my TikTok account, and he was like, "Oh, so you're just kind of like famous, right?" And I was like, "No, I will die on this hill. I'm not TikTok famous. I don't. You get 50,000 followers. That is literally nothing on TikTok." But he would always bring it up, and so I said something to him one time, like over text, and he goes, "Oh yeah, I know how you like your eggs like over easy on toast. I saw it on TikTok." Okay, we have not met in person yet. Please do not tell me how I like my eggs in the morning. That actually, no, don't recite it back to me. It's weird. It's weird. It's weird. And then he would say things like, oh yeah, like I'm taking notes. Like I already know you like this, that, and the other. I have never met him in person. Okay. I get that like once you're dating or like you're in a talking stage, then it's cute. I had not met him in person, and we had been talking for like a week and a half. The night before our first date, I'm telling all my friends, I'm like, I'm finally going out on a date. Because, like I said in last week's episode, very briefly, I went through a terrible breakup. Traumatizing as hell. Just fucking terrible. Just the worst fucking thing. And so for a full year, I wasn't really going on dates. Like I was kind of a man eater. Like I would just, well, not in that way. I mean, like I would start like talking to someone and then I would just be like, "Eh, I'm gonna ghost them." Like I wasn't really pursuing anything. I felt very much like I was supposed to be like going out and meeting people. I'm in my 20s. I should be, you know, flirting with guys, going on dates, going on. And I was just like, I'm trying to actually piece myself back together brick by brick. Okay? Brick heck by brick heck. Okay? I need a minute. And I lived with a bunch of people that were like, they kind of tried to push me to go on dates or they, I don't know, they just like didn't really get why it was taking me so long to like bounce back from this shit. And so I kind of felt like this pressure. And this was like this past semester was the first time I went on an actual date. I've hung out with other people, you know, but this was like the first like date, romantic. I was just kind of like, this feels like very weird. Like it already feels weird to me to be like, I could potentially have romantic feelings for this person in the future, let alone you're making like notes about me and stuff. It was just odd. So the night before our first date, he cancels. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, oh no, it's fine. It was actually the day of, I think. He like canceled. And I was like, oh, you know what? It's a sign. I don't fuck him. I don't need to go out with him, like whatever. But I was so dead set on the fact that I wanted to go on a date. Like this is like a stepping stone, got out of the breakup, like need to go on a date, you know. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna go. Cause he asked me out, he was like, do you want to go tomorrow to get coffee? And I was like, fine, that's fine. So I get all done up and we decide to meet like after class because we both had class at the same time. So I go to my class and the whole time I'm like shitting bricks again, changing my underwear again. Like I'm fucking scared. I'm so scared because also this dude is like giant. Like even just from like a woman perspective, I'm like, if this goes wrong, this dude can kill me. I'm not strong. Okay. I may be tall, not strong at all. The first really big red flag of this day was we were both on campus. I was on upper campus, he was on lower campus. Now, I'm a feminist, okay? I think I should be out of the kitchen a lot of the time. I shouldn't just be in the kitchen, you know? But I like when people hold the door open for me. I like when people pick me up, you know? I like when people, get the bill. Prefer that one, you know? We're both on campus and I'm kind of trying to hint to him like, I don't know. I had no idea where he was on campus. My campus is very large. I know how to get to the class that I already scoped out at the beginning of the year, and that's it. That is literally it. I don't know where shit is. He parks in this obscure ass parking lot. He's like, oh, it's by the pool and behind this building, and then you take a right and a left, and then this and that and that. And I was like, I literally don't know where you are. And I was trying to hint, like, will you just come, like, find me? Like, I wish we could walk together. And he was like, oh, you'll be able to find it. Womp womp. You already kind of suck. Go and walk to the girl that you're going to go on a date with. If you're an athlete, you can walk up some stairs. Oh, I was so annoyed. Because I also just get anxiety where, like, when I'm walking up by myself to something. And so I finally end up finding this parking lot. And it gets even more awkward because he's standing at, like, the end of this path. And it's, like, a long path. And I'm just, like, walking towards him. And we're both just kind of, like, staring at each other, but trying not to look at each other. And I can already tell that this guy just thinks that I am walking up on the best thing since sliced bread. Oh my God, you guys. When I tell you this guy was in love with himself, I mean, this guy was fucking in love with himself. He would take out a rib. I'm telling you that right now. He would do it. He would fucking do it. So I finally meet up with him. And the first thing, I keep saying the first thing, because honestly, every time he icked me out, it felt like I was being reborn again. I was like learning new information about men that I didn't want to know. Like it was just so horrifying. And I was like, I'm gonna be stuck with this for an hour. I have to do this for an hour. I already showed up. He comes up to me and he puts his arm around me. He goes, hey, what's up, girl? Oh my God. 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 Someone call the police. Someone call the police. Like, when you can just hear that someone thinks they're so sexy and like they're getting you. Like I think just thought he was the female gaze. Like he thought that he was like hitting the mark, like things he would bring up, like he was trying to make himself sound cool. So we're walking to his car and we get in and immediately he gives me the aux cord and he goes, I want to see what you got. I want to see what you got. Like what kind of music you gonna play? He goes, no Taylor Swift. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. It just keeps getting worse. It just, you cannot, it's so valid to not like Taylor Swift. Okay. I've got her lyrics tattooed on my arm. Know your audience and don't be fucking annoying about it, right? And so at this point, I already knew I did not like him. I already knew I did not like him. So I was just like, I'm just gonna fuck around. I'm just gonna fuck around. Because what else can you do? So I'm like, fine, like, yeah, no big deal. Like, I'll play some tunes, like, no Taylor Swift. I'm like, I'm gonna play into this shit. And I was like, well, let me cue some songs that you like, you know? So he cued some of his songs. He played Imagine Dragons. Imagine Dragons. Imagine me dragging my nuts across your face, actually. Imagine me doing that. The first thing I remember him saying, because I do try to block out the majority of this date, is him going, so what do you want to know about me? Hey, how about you ask me a question? Actually, I don't know. Like, it was just like very off putting, and it did very much set the tone for the entire date. It was, what does he have to say about himself, and what can he talk about when it comes to himself, rather than like, let's both get to know each other. And I do feel that this is kind of like it is a problem with dating apps where I immediately go into, okay, well, are you lying about what you said on your profile? That's kind of what I go into the second I first meet someone from a dating app, because it's the only thing you really have to go off of, unless you've like been extensively talking on the phone and all this stuff. But even when you do meet up or talk on the phone, it's like, what are, do you actually own a sailboat? I don't know. He didn't own a sailboat, but like, wait, he did say something about a boat. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Because I don't even know if it's the truth. We haven't even gotten there yet. So what do you want to know about me? And I was like, oh, I don't, what's your favorite color? I don't fucking know. I'm like, this isn't like a casual conversation. Like, I hate when it becomes like a question game. Like, it immediately felt middle school. Like, okay, like, let's play like 21 questions. Have you ever touched a boob before? Have you ever searched up boobs on the internet? Like, that's what it immediately felt like. And I was like, I just want to talk. Like, I don't want to like be thinking of questions. Like, this isn't like organic. This is like manufactured. It just felt weird. Somehow he brings up, he's like, I think I said, I don't know, like, just tell me about yourself. He's like, well, I travel a lot and I speak 3 different languages. I was like, oh, that's impressive. Like, what languages do you speak? And he says, like, obviously English, Spanish, French, and then like Ukrainian or something. Like something so random. And I was like, "What?" I was like, "Whoa, that's crazy. Like, that's really cool. Like, say something." And I'm gonna tell you right now, okay? If you're someone that learned a second language for fun, if like Spanish is your native language and then you learned English growing up, this does not apply to you, or if like that, applies to you in some way. If you're just like a white kid that learned French and you want to like flex about it, you need to be ready to say something. Because I'm gonna say, oh, say something in French. Like, if you're a native speaker, I'm not gonna sit there and make you fucking say, "Oh, say something." Of course I fucking believe you. Of course I believe you can fucking, like, if you tell me, "Oh, am an I French is my native language." I'm not gonna be like, "Oh my god, like say like bonjour." Like say something, Say something. I'm sorry. I'm trying, I hope you guys know at all times I'm trying so hard not to sing. I hope you guys know that. So I go, "Say something." And he goes, well, I don't even know what to say." And I'm like, and I'm just like looking around the car. I'm like, just say something in the car. Like, say, like, I see the wheel. Say, like, I need a beer. I need to go to the bathroom. Say, oh, I really like this song. Somehow switches the subject. And I go, that's weird. Okay. I just kind of make note of it. I was like, that's just kind of odd. And I then remembered that he wasn't on any of the rosters for the sport that he played, except for his freshman year. So I start asking him, we get to the coffee shop, we sit down, and he's telling me, oh yeah, this is like my go-to coffee spot. Like, they like know me here. We walked in, not a single bitch knew that guy. Like, I was like, what the fuck are you talking? It was in the most random spot. And mind you, on the way to this coffee shop, he is just gassing himself up the whole time. Oh my God. Like I said, he wanted to take out a rib. Like, I was just waiting. Like, he loved himself. He pays for my coffee, which was very nice. I got a free coffee from the whole ordeal. It was very good coffee. Um, and so we go and sit down. He's like, yeah, this is like my favorite spot. We're in like the parking lot of a grocery store. Like, I was like, okay, well, whatever, it's fine. And we start talking, and he just starts going off about how in love with himself he is. Like, Okay, so we oh my god, this part. Okay. We start talking about like me being quote unquote TikTok famous. Once again, I don't think that. I will always say I'm not. He goes, I went viral on TikTok when I was in high school. And I was like, oh no, like no way. Like, what were you doing? And he goes, I don't know, it's kind of embarrassing. And I go, come on, just show me. Like, you saw my whole TikTok profile. Like, it's no big deal. And he's like, okay, but just to guys, chat. I can't. He goes, just to let you know though, I was a really gorgeous high schooler. This is not sarcastic. Okay, let me try to say it in the way that he said it. Just to warn you, I was a really gorgeous high schooler. Like gorgeous. Like golden brown locks, like curls, all this. Like I was gorgeous. I got 1.5 million views on this video. Are you ready to see it? Okay, sure. I didn't want to tell him that I've been on the news for yelling about Liam Payne, but sure, I'll see your 1.5 million views. Okay. If you're watching the podcast, you are about to be assaulted by what I'm about to do because I'm going to show you what he showed me. I don't have the video, but I'm going to show you what he did. Now, let me paint the picture here as well for this man kind of lying about everything. He showed me this video from his camera roll. It wasn't on his TikTok account. It's not like he privated it, which you can do so no one else can see it. If I had a video that had 1.5 million views, but I was embarrassed by it later on, I would private it. I've done it before. I still want to see it for like myself, but I'm not going to delete it. So he shows me it from his camera roll and I immediately go, this fucker did not. This shit did not. Whatever he's about to show me, he did not get famous from it. Are you guys ready? This is like I don't even oh my god, I feel I feel the uncomfortableness just like going through my body. This was like no pun intended, this was the worst cringe I've ever felt in my life. Are you ready? I don't even know what the song was. He starts going like this. He's going, oh my god. 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 Can I look now? Can I look? Is it gone? Is it gone? Guys, seriously? Is it gone? Guys, I'm fucking is it horrified. Horrified. It would have been better if he was like, yeah, I went viral in high school and it's so bad. Like I don't even want to show you. That would be different. That would be hot. I'm like, you were cringy in high school? Love it. Show it. But instead I was gorgeous in high school. I was so gorgeous. Are you ready? Do you think I'm going to be attracted to a high schooler? Oh, fucking crazy. It was literally like a 17-year-old with a snapback, just fucking making his face everyone's problem. Everyone's problem. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, I don't even know how to react. I'm pretty sure I just went, yeah. Mm-hmm. It's like when you guys saw me like make a podcast, you're like, yeah, we wanted this. Yes. Like it was like, mm-hmm. Gun to your head, call the smiling friends right now. And so I was just like, what the fuck, dude? Then he starts telling me like immediately, this was another turn off for me. I could tell he was trying to like love bomb me. He would call like, of course I know I'm cute. Of course I know I have a little pizzazz to me. But it was like he was too complimentary. I understand like when you're on a first date, you want to be complimentary, but you're also trying to figure out like for me, a relationship is about being friends too. I don't just want to think you're hot. I don't just want to see you romantically. I also want to giggle at random shit on the internet that we both find funny. Like for me, like friendship is the foundation to a relationship. I am a Bridgerton, okay? Like I should be a Bridgerton. I should. Like I truly don't think you can be fully in love unless you are friends first or you end up building a foundation of friendship, right? It doesn't have to be first. It can be later. And I was just like he's only seeing me for like the outside. He was barely laughing at me, by the way. The jokes I would make, they would just go over his head like he didn't think I was funny. I was like, you don't know what's sitting in front of you. Like you don't know what you got till it's gone. And you're about to lose it. You're about to lose it, babe. You're about to lose it. Sorry. He tells me he's like his problems with his parents, like divorced and stuff. And I was like, this just seems like third or fourth date material. And he's like egging me for information about like my family. And I was just kind of like, I just don't know. I love everyone. I love everyone. Everyone is so great. Please stop asking. Please. Begging. Like there's like it was just uncomfortable. Then he starts bringing up, "Oh yeah, I'm super rich. I'm like so rich. Like I have so much money. Like I literally could buy like X, Y, and Z, but like I choose not to. Like I'm trying to like build up my portfolio with like Wall Street, blah blah." Oh my god, how the fuck did I get here? How did we get here? How did we get like how the fuck do I get out of this situation? Used to be something to see. Just turns into Cher. This was the lie that got me the most. So we're sitting there, and I think it was when we were talking about TikTok. And he goes, I'm talking. He kept interrupting me too, which also pissed me off. I'm like, no wonder you don't think I'm funny. You won't let me say the fucking jokes. He cuts me off and he goes, "Oh, did you know I won David Dobrik's Chipotle for a year challenge?" Mic drop. Mic drop. Up until this point, I was like teetering on, is he a liar? Is he not? I can't figure it out. The second that came out of his mouth, I knew he was a liar. Because what kind of person wins David Dobrik's Chipotle for a Year challenge, the most coveted giveaway you could have fucking won in the year of our Lord and Savior 2017? And that is not on your Hinge profile. Nope, I don't believe you. I do not fucking believe you at all. You're lying. How would that not be like the prompt being like, is this my good side? And it's you with the fucking Chipotle card. No, don't believe it. So I immediately go, no way. Like, do you have a picture of the card? Because like you get the, Chipotle for a card or Chipotle for a year card. You go in and you swipe it. Like that's I feel like everyone knew how it worked because that was such a big thing at the time. Like it was Coachella, like it was the vibe at the time. Like we everyone wanted that fucking giveaway. Everyone wanted to win something from David Dobrik. Like that was the Mr. Beast of 2017, 2018, 2019, all of it. You either wanted a Tesla or you wanted that Chipotle for a year card. Okay? Free Chipotle for a year. And he just goes, I have no pictures of that. He's like, oh no, like I never took a picture with the card. And I go, oh, do you just have a picture of you like eating Chipotle? If I would have won the card, every time I went to Chipotle, I would have been like, thanks, David. Click to the gram. The second I won, I would have posted the card. I'm pretty sure that was a part of the giveaway is you're supposed to like post it to show like you won. So that way David's like, yeah, like I gave people Chipotle. David Dobrik, if somehow you ever see this, I need you to give me the list of the fuckers who won. Because he's lying. So lying. And so I just keep questioning him. And finally then he just starts spitballing like reasons that I couldn't even think of why he couldn't prove to me that he had the card or like he ever won. He was like, "Yeah, like and I had a different Instagram account at the time and so David DM'd me on that account and so like that account was like deleted so I don't even have the DM anymore and like the card's gone." Like I was like, "Oh my god, he's spiraling and he's lying. He's spiraling and he's lying. This is so weird." After that is when I truly just started fucking with him. Like he would say anything and I would just fully agree. The the next worst part of the date came when he was about to drop me back off because I was ready. I was like, "Oh, I have something to do. Sorry, you know." Because I was thinking about taking this guy to my sorority formal because I was like, "Oh, I want to have a date." I went dateless and I'm so glad I did. I had so much fun not having a man yap in my ear about how he won David Dobrik's Chipotle contest. And so he's taking me home and we kind of like sit in his car at first and he has this big sunroof or like it's a moon roof because it goes to the back seat too. He taught me that, right? He's like, "Yeah, like I had like a Mercedes before this car, but then like I crashed it and then I had like a Tesla and then I had like that, but like now I have this and I like love this car." And I'm already like zoned out. I'm like I cannot fucking wait to go home because this guy is just lying about all the shit that he's done, right? And I'm like, whatever, you know. So then he's sitting there. Remember, this is the same guy who has said that he's a D1 athlete. I can't find anything about it currently. He says that he speaks three languages. He's won David Dobrik's Chipotle for a Year contest. And now we're sitting in there and we're listening to more music. And he just randomly goes, "Yeah, I'm actually a really good singer." Like he's like fucking what's her name? In that the fucking girl that everyone makes a joke that like she's from Ireland where she's like, "I'm actually a really good singer." That was him. Actually a really good singer. I was like, who asked? That's my biggest ick. When people that can sing will never tell you they can sing. Unless they're annoying. Unless they're like theater kids, low key. He goes, "Yeah, I'm actually like a really good singer." And so every fiber in my body was telling me not to say this, but it came out of my mouth anyway. I go, "Oh my god, like sing something." Was I already cringing out so hard that I wanted to crap my pants for the fifth time? Yes. Yeah. Yeah. But I was like, I just have to do it at this point for the story. Like, I have to be able to tell people like he sang in the car. Unfortunately, he did not sing. This was also kind of a test of like, if you sing, okay, maybe you're not lying about it, but he wouldn't sing. Don't make me sing. You know, that was him. Don't make me sing. More Kristen Wiig than I'm a really good singer, you know? And I was like, what the fuck? Because, yeah, and I play like 5 instruments. I sing and I play 5 instruments. How do you have time to learn 3 languages, to be a D1 athlete? Do you know how much time? Just thinking about being a D1 athlete, how much time that takes to become so good that you are a pivotal member of a team of fantastic athletes from all over the country and you're D1. Just think about how much time that takes. Now think about him saying, I also know 3 languages. Okay, if you learn languages that are similar, okay, if you learn Spanish and Italian, there's a lot of overlap. Okay, maybe you could learn, but French and Spanish, I think there's some overlap, not a lot. The Ukrainian one, out of where did you learn that? You know how much time that takes? David Dobrik's Chipotle for a Year challenge, that just didn't happen. And now he's sitting here and he's telling me, oh, I also am a really good singer and I know 5 instruments. This is where it gets worse. He goes, yeah, I'm actually a really good singer. And I go, oh, yeah? And I go, sing for me. He goes, no, not right now. I haven't sang in a long time. And I go, oh, okay, whatever. And I go, oh, so what? You could be famous or that good? He goes, honestly, like, if I wasn't like as big as I am, like, I could be famous. Ladies and gentlemen, this man is in love with himself. No normal person thinks that they're gonna get famous, truly, from a talent that they have. This guy's just fucking lying and trying to seem cool, okay? That gave me the biggest egg. That is when I was like, I need to run for the hills. Cause this guy, he's super tall, he's like really broad. He was like, yeah, like I'm a twunk, not a twink. And I was like, are you gay? Where'd you learn that? I know why I know what those things are. I'm gay. I'm half gay, dude. I'm clocked in online. How do you know what a twink and a twonk is? He's like, oh, my sister taught me. I'm like, okay, I guess, sure, fine. He drops me off, and it was the most insane date ever. I think I'm still missing things that he lied about. Like, I think I forgot stuff. It was downright atrocious and traumatizing. First date I've had back since I went through a horrible, horrible breakup. Now, why did I tell you that story? Because a lot of things happened there. First of all, it was terrible, but also while that was an awful experience, it did teach me again what I don't want in a man. Okay? There were remnants of a lot of different people that I dated in that guy. Like he would say something and I would go, "Yeah, you're sounding a bit like this person." "Oh, well there's a little bit of you in there, huh?" Like, it kind of reminded me that I shouldn't settle for anything because I was getting to a point where everyone around me was just kind of like seeking out relationships and wanting to date people and feeling like I needed to do that too. A lot of people that I was living with, like they were all getting into relationships and I was like I need to do this or else I will, like, what's wrong with me if I'm not dating someone. And what's crazy about that is never been me. In high school, maybe, but I still always chose to stay single over settling. Like I had guys like me in high school, but they would be weird and I'd be like, "Oh, like, maybe we should just be friends. Maybe we should just, Like I would rather stay single than settle. But at that moment, like before I went on that date with him, I was like, I could date anyone. Like I just really want someone that cares about me. That's really the only requirement I have. After that date, I was like, okay, maybe I do have a few more requirements than I thought. Don't be obsessed with yourself. Don't lie about winning random internet contests. Please don't pretend you can sing. That was truly the worst of it. The worst lie was the David Dobrik contest because I'm like, that's just so fact checkable. Like, you must think I'm stupid. You must think I'm dumb. And he did actually say some stuff. It was like, yeah, like I really want my wife to be able to just like provide for like our family, like at home. And like I really want like a stay-at-home wife. And I'm like, well, that's not what you're gonna get with me. Sorry. Sorry, that's cutting out my job. I'll have kids and they'll be a big part of my life, but I would like to also have hobbies. I would like to be out of the house. I'm not going to just stay in the kitchen. It was just a crazy, crazy experience. And so like I said, that date just taught me a lot of like what I want in a relationship and what I don't want. And I've been thinking a lot about like what do I need from people in my life? I think as you get older, you start recognizing patterns in people that you're like, I don't want to be a part of that anymore, whether it's romantic or just friendship wise. And, I've gone through like, a big romantic breakup. I had some friendships fail in the past few years or just kind of, fizzle out and die. And I just kind of, and at first they felt like really massive failures. I had this really big friendship breakup that felt like, oh, like this was crazy. Like this was like, we had been friends for most of our lives and now we're not friends. And to an extent, it was kind of like we both kind of knew we weren't as close as we used to be. But then it was like this huge friendship blow up. And I was like, this is really like, it really affected me at first. I was so angry. I was so mad because I felt like I didn't get to say everything that had been building up for like a really long time of why I felt like the friendship should have ended before, or like we should have like reassessed it. I still care about this person. Did they piss me the fuck off? Yeah. Do I think we'll ever be that close again? No. But like I still very much care about them and I wish them the best. But I also looked back at like that experience and I was like, there are things in that friendship that I don't want to take with me into this new chapter. It was like right when I was moving back to school and I was making new friends. And I was just like, this part of you doesn't serve me anymore. And I'm sure there are parts of me that don't serve you or don't serve this friend group or this friendship. Like I just it felt like learning what I need in a friendship and learning what they need. Now, I wish it would have ended different, but you can't really do anything about that. Like, I want to hear the tea. Like, what's been going on? What are you up to? How's life? It's that kind of thing. But anyway, the main thing that I've learned in the past like year and a half is when things fail, it's not always a failure. When things don't work out, it doesn't mean that you didn't learn anything from it. For a really long time, I was really horrified to get things wrong. And I still am to a giant extent, okay? If we expect to be perfect at all times, oh, that's never going to work. Whether that's relationships, friendships, job, whatever, it's just not going to work. I learned a lot from that day. I learned that I do have standards because after that last breakup, I really had low self-esteem and I had low standards. And I think to me also like making this podcast, it kind of shows I'm kind of back. Like, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I was down bad crying at the gym. Like I was really like I cried at the gym multiple times. Multiple times. Like Taylor was so real for that. I think that date taught me more in an hour than I had learned about myself in maybe 6 months before that. I was like I really think there is a value in fucking up. Like I said, you can't always be perfect. I will never be perfect. I will literally never be perfect. And I resent the idea that I will be perfect or that anyone is perfect. When people try to act like their shit doesn't stink, oh, fuck off. I'm on my 5th pair of underwear this episode. Like, just fuck off. That's called a callback, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I was like, I'll talk about this. I don't know. Should I talk about this right now? A really big, like, quote unquote failure or like hard time in my life was before my last relationship. I got a panic disorder during COVID. I think I've always been anxious, but I developed a panic disorder. And if you don't know the difference, anxiety is like that feeling in your chest where you're just like, like, oh my God, like I'm scared, like, I need to calm down. A panic disorder is when you're afraid of panicking and it makes you panic more. And that's when you have a panic attack. Okay. I think you can still have a panic attack if you just have anxiety, but I had a panic disorder. I was having 6 panic attacks a day, never felt like myself. I felt like a completely different person for 2 years of my life, 2.5 years of my life. Me now is the most me I've ever felt. I'm not medicated or anything anymore, but that time in my life, I learned so much about myself because I was at the bottom of the fucking trench. I've never been more mentally ill. I've never been more scared of just living day to day. Like I literally, like I'll go into it more in another episode. Like we'll talk about mental health, I really thought I was not going to make it out of that time period in my life. I'm going to be, and I'm not even saying that to be like, oh, feels, I'm so fucking serious. Like, I think people get annoyed with me, like in my friend circle, when I say, like, Like, I get really inspired by everything now. Like, everything is a triumph to me. And that's because I truly thought that that panic disorder it was going to take me off the map. You know what I mean? Do you know, wink, wink, nod, nod? Everything to me is a triumph. The sun rising in the morning is a fucking triumph. I'm not really religious, but it's just that gratitude. Like, once you get to the bottom of the fucking totem pole, you learn so much about yourself and you learn so much about like what you're grateful for and what you want in your life, that it's like, why would I settle for something less? Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Anyway, we'll talk about that more later. I feel like that needs like its own episode because like that lore is fucking crazy. It's fucking insane. And if anyone out there is struggling, the one piece of advice I could give you, the one thing I told myself literally every day, because I would wake up with this fucking like just heaviness in my chest every day. I've never felt anything like it at that point in my life, and I've never felt anything like it again. It wasn't even anxiety, it was just dread every morning. I would have to tell myself 20 times a day, you just have to make it to tomorrow. You just have to make it to tomorrow. Dark, but real. And then one day I literally woke up and I realized like 2, 3 months later, like I woke up and I was like, wait, when's the last time I felt like that? I couldn't remember, you know? So if you're down bad crying at the gym, that wasn't even because of a breakup. That was just like overall mental illness and COVID. But then I got into a relationship during that time. This is a whole, you know what? This is okay. We gotta move on. We gotta move on. We gotta move on. Like, I'm telling you, I could talk about this for 17 hours straight. And that is not why I made this podcast. Back to the relationship stuff. So, like I said, recently I deleted all of my dating apps. I had Hinge, I had Tinder, but I never really used Tinder, and I had Bumble, but I didn't really use Bumble either. I was pretty much only using Hinge. That was like the big one where I was like, should I delete it? You know? And so I just moved back to my hometown for the summer. And I was like, first of all, I don't want these fuckers seeing my profile. I don't want anyone I went to high school with seeing my Hinge profile. That feels like you need to get access to that. Like, it should be like shareable link and you don't have access. Like, I don't want you seeing that. But also, I'm not dating anyone from my hometown again. Okay? You live and you learn. Okay? I haven't dated anyone outside of my hometown. And I would like that to change. Okay? Because the crop here is slim pickings. And so I was like, you know what? There's no way I'm gonna fucking date someone here. So I delete all my dating apps. And I was just like, you know what? It's gonna be a single girl summer, hot girl summer, if you will. I just decided like I just don't really need that anymore. And I had been thinking about deleting my dating apps for a while, but I'm not gonna lie, you guys, like they're addictive. They are fucking addictive. It's not that I miss like now I wasn't having fun on the apps because I would see people I knew. And I was like, this feels wrong. Get away. You know, get away. I don't want to see you on here. But I do miss having an app where I open it up and all these random guys and girls are just like, you're so gorgeous. What? Stop. You're leaving that? Are you serious? Go on. Like, the validation that I get from a dating app, oh, it's unmatched, babes. Babes, it's unmatched. And it really is unmatched. I would barely match with any of them. Like, it was like, it could be the ugliest guy ever, ugliest girl ever, doesn't matter. And I was still like, wait, like, tell me more. I was like, tell me more about your perspective of me. I'm like, this is crazy. Like, wait, you think I'm cool, fun, and charismatic? Tell me more. Tell me more. I want to know more about me. Like, that's when I realized like the dating apps weren't serving the purpose that they were supposed to. I went on one date and it was terrible. It was awful. And then it's like, it's also this whole thing with Hinge where like all the good people are pretty much behind like a paywall. Like, you get like a rose a day. Or I don't even know how long it takes to regenerate. And that's where all of the people that they actually think you could date are. And if you run out of roses, you have to buy more. I'm like, I'm not paying for a dating app. Sorry. Also, it's fucking, I'm not going to sit there and say that I sent someone a rose. So I was like, what is the purpose of this? If you're saying I'm supposed to be getting dates from this app, but I'm getting no dates, you're not showing me anyone who I actually think would be compatible unless I pay for it. Which was always like the thing of like, oh, it's free, you know, all this stuff. You don't have to pay. I'm not paying for a fucking dating service. You're not doing what you're saying your app is supposed to do. I'm not meeting up with anyone. These people suck. Where are all the hot people? Like, literally, where are they? I don't know. So I deleted them all. And that has been the worst part because whenever I would get bored, I would just go on Hinge and just like, I wouldn't even really swipe. I would just see like who complimented me. Who said, wow, your eyes are gorgeous. Your eyes are beautiful. Oh my God, like tall queen, like so. And I was like, yeah, yeah, you know. I've also been watching a lot of Sex in the City. And in Sex in the City, there's no dating apps because it's the 90s. Unless you like signed up for like a web service. Maybe they had that back then. And it's all of them going to bars and meeting people. And it has inspired me. Now, once again, I am in my hometown, so I will not be trying this right now. But I cannot wait to go home and give this a shout. You know, I'm ready to give it a try. I think that's today's episode. I have no idea how long I've been talking. It's 3:23. I think I started recording at like 2 something. Okay, I think we're gonna wrap it up there. Thank you guys for listening. Remember to follow us on socials. It's at Cringe Podcast Official, and that's on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. I appreciate you guys so much for listening. I'm so glad you guys came back for round 2. Let's fucking go. Sending you guys all the love. Have a great rest of your week. Bye. Love you.